Hello and welcome everybody to today's showcase. As a showcase with Arabin Lama from Antaisolar. You're familiar with webinars nowadays, so we'll just give it a few more seconds for everybody to join. And while everybody's joining, I will already take this opportunity to share with you a little bit of housekeeping, the very traditional things. So as I was telling you when we got started, we are here with Arabin Lama today from Antaisolar to be talking about mounting structures and tracker systems, which Arabin calls the invisible giants. And it's true that without mounting structures, there is no solar project, but very often this is maybe like a less regarded aspect of solar systems. And Arabin will tell us a lot more about all the differences, sharing a few tips, telling us about all the important aspects that you need to keep in mind when considering mounting structures and trackers. But before I hand over to Arabin, I would like to do a little bit of housekeeping. Yes, of course, this session will be shared with you. It is being recorded. The full presentation will be shared with you after the presentation. So don't worry, you will get all the information that will be shared today. And also, if you wish to participate and ask some questions to Arabin, just make sure, please, to use the Q&A box, which you find at the bottom of your screen. This is the ideal and preferred way of sharing a question. However, if you wish to interact with other listeners, then I invite you to use the chat box. So really, chat is for saying hi and Q&A is for sharing your question to Arabin. The reason is that if we don't have enough time to cover your question, at least I will be able to share those questions with Arabin and he will be able to follow up with you after the event. So please make sure to do that. Thank you very much. Moving forward, just a quick word about Arabin. He's the General Manager for Sales and Marketing at Antaisolar, calling us today out of China. He comes with a very impressive experience in the solar industry, more than 10 years. Previously worked with Acom Group, ET Solar, GCL Solar, so very big names in Asia and globally. And really, I mean, he's the expert when it comes to all kinds of tracking systems, mounting systems, racking systems. So there was no better person to invite today than Arabin. And I'm very pleased to welcome you, Arabin, today. I will stop sharing my screen and I invite you to share yours now. I don't want to keep people waiting for any longer. And I welcome you to your presentation.
Thank you, John. So it's the great event that organized by the Africa Solar Industry Association. And I feel like it's my great honor to make a speech on the behalf of Antaisolar regarding our company, products, its applications, advantage, and of course, our services. I would like to welcome all ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your time for this event. So as John mentioned that my name is Arabin Lama and I'm the Sales and Marketing General Manager for these reasons. So let's move on. So I believe my
Arabin, you need to, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. You need to share your presentation first. So through the green button and then sharing your screen so we can all follow with you.
Yeah, just give them 1 sec, please.
Mm-hmm. No problem. Yeah, there we go. It's coming. Right. Yes, and you can put in presentation mode.
Okay.
So we have the full slide. Let's try again. You need to share again. You were almost there.
Yeah.
It's okay. No problem. It happens.
Sorry, for me, it's a little bit technical issues here.
No worries. I'm sure that everybody in this room listening today has already experienced some challenges. Yeah, there we go. And then now you can click on the little icon for big presentation mode. Yeah.
Okay, great.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, sorry for my bad technical knowledge. So before beginning of the our products or our company's information, I would like to share some information that Africa Solar Industry Association come up with. It's the 2021 Outlook report, which is quite informative and very nice. So from here, we can see the electricity price in the African countries, and of course, the accessibility of the electricity to the end users. So every country have very varied electricity price in the different sectors, residential, commercial, and the industrial. But if we look at it, the electricity price here in the average, maybe 10 to 15 US cents per kilowatt hour. So which is still quite higher compared to the PV systems electricity generation. So if we look at the history of the PV systems or the electricity generated by the PV power plant from 2000 to 2018, the price has been significantly decreased, let's say 77%. So now the electricity generated by the power plant, especially PV, is already reached the grid parity, and even some countries even is lesser. So that's why the trend of the power sector is moving from conventional power plant to the PV plant. And from here, we can see why solar, and the concept is coming from the LCOE. It's not only comparing to the conventional and the renewable, even within the renewables like a PV, wind, and the batteries, and even other renewable sectors. In 2019, Bloomberg NEF came up the report. It shows that the electricity by the tracker is already reached 3.9 US cents per kilowatt hour, which is almost the very lowest in the renewable sector also. In the practical sense that we try to do one cost calculation, especially levelized cost of the electricity, we chose the Kenya 1 megawatt project, and you can see in my screen that capacities and what are the parameters we considered, like total capex, total OPEX, and of course the discount rate is around 8%. So net present value of total cost is around like 500K USD, and the net present value of total output is 18,738 kilowatt hour, which gives us the levelized cost of electricity is 2.58 US cents per unit. So that means like whatever the electricity price, which is higher than this 2.58, it makes economically viable or feasible in the country. So, so now the PV power plant is already very gaining in popularity. One is in the environmental friendly. Another one is it can be installed anywhere. So the main part is the cost. The cost, the global trade, innovation and development in the technology, competition has dropped the PV equipment price, and as well as the electricity generated by the PV power plant. So it's projected that by 2030, that 2,840 gigawatt will be installed, and by 2050, it's 8,519, where 60% would be utility scale and the 40% would be in the distributed area. So Now we have already seen that why solar, and we already know solar is very important, environmentally friendly, and it's the most economic, let's say cheapest electricity we can get at this presence. And the cheapest electricity can bring us in the prosperity for the end users and the country as well. So talking about our product, first is the racking systems. So we have been in this industry more than 15 years, and we have been devoted in our R&D and the engineering sectors to come up with the products for all kind of PV systems solution for the racking systems, and even the very extreme environmental conditions. So first, we are going to talk about the tile roof. So tile roof is we are just using highly resistant stainless steel roof hooks. So it's a very common one, and it is European and the international standards one for the extreme environmental condition, also high wind speed and the heavy snow. So this is one of the very common and the very popular in the distribution market. So this is one of the case that 2 kilowatt kit in Australia, and we have almost every month like a 20 megawatt shipment of this product. The another one is the metal sheet roof. As we all know that the PV panel has the drawback with the temperature in range, temperature in increase. If temperature increase, that the efficiency of the modules, or let's say production of the system, will decrease. So for that, for the metal sheet, that we have developed one Yale sheet, Yale foot hook or bracket that can allow the ventilations between the metal sheet and then the PV modules. So it is around 150 millimeters. So it will help for not losing any electricity from the PV system. So this is the 2 megawatt project in Germany, rooftop project. So it's use the Yale-Fit plus rail system. So another metal sheet roof is the railless mounting system. So it's the railless, so it's also very cost effective and easy to install as well. So this is one in Africa, Togolese Republic, 1.5 megawatt. We have the reference. And another one is the adjustable tilt rooftop mounting systems. It can be on the metal sheet or maybe the concrete rooftop. We all know that to get the higher output from the PV systems, we have to adjust some tilt angle. So this product is very good for the optimizing or getting the tilt angle to get the higher output from the system. So this is the adjustable. So it is also very popular in the distribution market. So we have almost or more than 15 megawatt per month shipment. So this is one tilt mounting project. And another one is the fixed tilt roof one. So it is more like a project basis. When the engineers are like let's say EPC contractor, they do PVC simulation to identify the tilt angle for the high output of the PV system or ELD. So they will come up with the optimized tilt angle. So we design according to their requirements and produce this one. So this is much more cost effective, and the installation also would be quicker than the adjustable one, because it's just the already tailor-made product. So we have 1.3 megawatt case in South Korea. You can see from the picture and as well as design. So we have another very popular, recently it's a very popular product, which is carport, aluminum carport one. So it can provide the shading for the parked vehicle, and it also produces the electricity, which might use for the EV cars to recharge or maybe other purpose. So aluminum is always looking elegant, and we can use the concrete foundation for it. So it's the easy to install and the nice looking product. It's a 58 kilowatt in Saudi Arabia. So we have for the steel also. So steel is a much more cost-effective one, and we can use one post one, so which will reduce the more cost. So the application is quite similar to generate the electricity and provide the setting for the vehicles. So this is 300 kilowatt case in Australia. So let's talk about the ground mounting system, especially for the utility scale projects. You know, like we all know that when we talk about the PV power project, the first things comes in our mind is the PV panel, inverter, maybe transformer, booster stations, and other important equipment. But most important people think is about the mounting structures, because they think there is nothing, just the only steel things, right? But the design is always very important. While we are designing the mounting structure, we used to consider all the terrain or project sites and the environmental conditions, like soil conditions, corrosion level, wind speed, snow load, and the other many parameters to design. So this should be also one of the key equipment should be considered in the PV system, right? For example, like if the EPC and the owner side, if we consider our perspective, we talk about EPC or the owner side. Let's say like if the project, the mounting structure is not designed according to the site conditions. So if it fails during the warranty period or even the later, so it's not only breaking the, not only losing the structures, actually it's losing the components on the structure, like PV modules, junction box, maybe inverters also, and same time we'll be losing lots of electricity until it has been replaced with the other components. So it should be very good quality and the durability. So it's very important. So we have three materials for the mounting structures. One is the aluminum, steel, and the MAC. Aluminum is the non-corrosion material. So it is, it looks elegant than the steel. Of course, easy to maintenance, 100% recycle, and it's also very nominal in the maintenance. In other hand, steel is very rigid concrete. We can use for the heavy wind speed area and the heavy snow, this area. So it's also very cost effective than the aluminum. And the MAC is the alloy of the steel, zinc, and magnesium. It's also non-corrosion also, and it's also cost effective than the aluminum, and also it gives the very rigid one. So in the steel or MAC, we can use maybe single post. It's according to the, let's say, environmental conditions requirements, and as well as the length of the array. So this is one of the project we built in the, we provided our aluminum one with the screw drive piling system, 16 megawatt in Japan. So talking about the ground mounting systems, we can choose for the pile driven type and the concrete one. Pile driven one, we can use the screw pile driving or maybe ramping. So it is good for the uneven terrain. So it can minimize lots of costs, like for example, no need to cut and fill, so saving the civil costs. And of course, the installation cost is also would be lower, because to install one screw pile or ramming maybe less than 3 minutes. So it can expedite the project's installation cost to reach the COD time. In the other hand, the concrete foundation, it's easily available in the local market, and it would be the most cost-effective one. But of course, this also have a drawbacks. It might delay a little bit in the project schedule if we don't do the project management or project schedule very correctly, because it needs time to set up. So we can use the prefabricated concrete foundations, and the another we can do in the sites also. So this is 2.2 megawatt project in South Korea. So single pile mounting system. And this is another success case in the fixed mounting. It's also in Japan. So this is another one, 24 megawatt project in Japan. As you can see from the picture, it's a really complicated design. So we used almost 18 months to satisfy our clients' requirements. They have lots of ideas, and of course it has to be durability with the quality, lots of things. So you can imagine that we have stick with them for such a long time for just one project. We have, I think that more than 50 types of design we came out for satisfaction for the clients. And of course, we were coordinating and working together with them to come up with the better solution for their plant. So after the ground mounting system, let's come to the tracker system, which is quite popular at this moment. As we all know that now, if we want to get higher yield or the energy from the system, either we need to add the capacity, that's DC AC capacity, or we need to increase the efficiency of the power plant. So while increasing the DC or capacity, that will increase the huge amount of the capex. So it will decrease the IRR. So maybe not interesting for the investors. But while using the tracker system, it will increase the efficiency of the power plant by the 15 to 20 plus%. So which is very attractive for the investors. If we talk about the, let's say, fixed and then the tracker systems, LCOE, it's much more higher than the fixed one. So it's economically very viable and attractive. So it's not been so a long time, as you can see from here. By 2019, just 30%, around 30% of the utility scale projects has used the tracker systems. And it's expected by 2030, around 40% of the utility scale project will be using the tracker systems. So tracker system is very important at the moment because there are huge competition going on the most of the countries for the mega scale projects, where the reverse bidding or auction, that's bidding for the tariff. So they need to come up with the cheapest solution with the high efficiency of the power plant to be more competitive than the others. So we are offering our 5 main tracker systems. It's according to the terrain adaptability, because project site is sometimes it's not the square, not always the square shape or elongate these things. So it's it upon the terrain and of course environmental conditions, and of course the important is of course from the owners or our clients' requirements, cost optimizations, and there are lots of maybe efficiency getting more higher than the other products. So there are huge range of tracker products from our side to satisfy our clients. So we have this Ant Surface, Ant Simple, Ant Cloud, Ant Universe, Ant Space, Thai Space. ThaiSpace is the longest one that we launched. In the SNEC, that is SNEC exhibition last July in China, Shanghai, one of the biggest solar event or conference and the exhibition. So now we have the new product called ThaiSpace, which is the most cost-effective. It's the slew drive with central driveline tracker, double row. So if you have any inquiries about our tracker, or if you are interested to use tracker in your project, please let us know. We would be much more happy to assist you and provide you our technical commercial offer. So this is our success case. It's in the Ningxia. It's the 100 megawatt project. 30 megawatt first phase has been already installed, and our client is quite satisfied with our product. We have lots of other reasons also, but we have this is the big picture we do have, so we put in our presentation. So as you can see, this is the actuator, not the slew drive one. Okay, so those all about our products, and of course, if you have any questions or any inquiries, please let us know. So I would just like to give a little bit brief about our company. We have more than 15 years brand history, so we are keep devoting in our R&D and the engineering to keep getting solution for our clients according to environment, terrain, to cope that and bring the better products. We have more than 800 people working in the company. 80 people are highly experienced and they educated in the R&D and the engineers. We have a diverse range of product. That's what I already just explained. And we are globally present. We are in every major markets and the emerging market. We have offices and we have a local sales there to support local projects. And we have a full production line as well. So until now, we have already made a shipment of more around 18 gigawatt projects. So the main market is Japan, which is already more than 6 gigawatt, and Japan is the one of the quality requirement country. So we are I would be honored to say that we are the #1 supplier in Japan, and Asia Pacific is more than 7 gigawatt. And from that chart also you saw that Asia Pacific is booming. Australia, we have almost every year like a 2 gigawatt warehouse and the shipment. And Europe, Middle East, and Africa also, we do have like a 549 megawatts, and the South America and the North America as well. So for last year, we have accumulatively 3.5 gigawatt shipment. And for this year till now that we have more than 2 gigawatts, and we are expecting to reach by the end of this year, like a 3.5 to 4 gigawatts. So you can see our global presence. Our headquarters is in Xiamen, Fujian province in China, and we have another office in Shanghai. We have 2 R&D and engineering base in Xiamen and the Shanghai to give the comprehensive support to our clients. And almost all the big market and emerging market, we have presence there. We have a sales and the project management team there to support during the pre-sales, in-sales, and the after-sales. So we are more dedicated in the design and tailor-made products, and of course to provide the comprehensive solution for our client. Every project is a special case for us. So as I mentioned that we have 4 production factories. One is in Tianjin, Jiangsu, Fujian, and in Indonesia. So our capacity For the aluminum is 15 gigawatt per annum, and for the carbon steel is 13 gigawatts per annum. But we are expecting for the next year our carbon steel would be increasing. So self-owned and the complete production line is our strongest part. So we can control our quality, we can control our raw materials and everything to give quality, durable products to our client with the very competitive offer. So we have very strict follow of this production processing to control all the qualities and to be one of the quality supplier in the market. So we have lots of, within this, more than this 15 years that we have almost again more than 68 certificates and testings. We have national patents, more than 85 actually, and the 3 software copyrights. And for our company, our products, we have all the required standard international certificates, third-party certificates for all the products and the production processing as well. So tailor-made design is the secret of our success. That's a good one. We'd like to tell our client because as I mentioned that every project is special and a special case for us. So every project, especially, it doesn't matter like for the tracker or even the mounting structure. Tracker is more complicated than the mounting structures, fixed mounting structures, but both requires the detailed design by considering the terrain and the environmental conditions. So we have very experienced and the educated R&D and the engineering people. We have more than 15 years experience design. So that's how we can come up with the very good, let's say, comprehensive solution for our clients. So this is about our service. As I mentioned that we do have a pre-sale service. We have local people in the different countries who can speak local language to support the project. And of course, if required, we also arrange the site visit to see that what kind of tracker solution or fixed mounting system is suitable for the terrain. And of course, in sale, we provide the design on time. Some projects are very time conscious, sensitive. For example, the bidding projects, there are always limited time. And of course, we do own our logistic team, global warehouse, which also make us more competitive. And of course, in the after sales, that lots of the companies, our competitors are just giving like a 10 years warranty in the structural part, but we are very much comfortable as we have been in this industry more than decades. We are providing 50 years in the structural components, 10 years in the mechanical parts, and 5 years in the electrical or batteries. And we also do provide the site installation guidance during the installation, so everything goes well and according to the our manual installation manual. So I would like to say again that we are the replicate the culture of the ants because our company is expert in the hardcore technology for solar mounting and tracking systems. We work steady and passion with restless whenever the client requires our support. And of course, we are the backbone of the solar industry for the mounting structure, racking systems, and the tracker system. So last not but the least, I would like to say that please, you are welcome to inquire us about our products. And of course, if you would like to be a distributor of our products in certain regions, you are also welcome to discuss with us. And of course, if you are very new in this industry or for this project, and if you are looking for the value-added partner like a EPC contractor or any kind of other partners like a developer or maybe the consulting company, even the investors, you are also welcome to approach us. We would be more than happy to connect with the right partner for you. Okay, thank you very much for your attention and listening. So I would like to give this time again to John. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arabin. Very interesting and also very impressive. Maybe there is quite a few listeners with us today who might not have known about Antaisolar before, and I think you gave a pretty clear overview of the track record of the company and the very diversified range of projects that you have been able to deliver over the years. And yes, I mean, I'll start with some questions immediately because there were some questions specifically about Africa. You know, we are the Africa Solar Industry Association. Antaisolar is a global company, but our community is really focused on Africa. And yes, there were some questions about specific things in Africa. For example, one question from Erahali. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. What would be your recommendation for structures in sandy and coastal areas? You know, we have quite a lot of deserts across the African continent. And how does this impact the choice of mounting structures? Maybe it even impacts the choice between fixed mounting and trackers. Can you please tell us a little bit about your experience and your recommendations there? And maybe also before you answer, Arabin, if you could just stop sharing your screen so we can see you in full screen mode.
All right.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay. Okay, great. So for the coastal area, the main thing is the corrosion, right? So there is two, let's say, material that we can use. One is the aluminum and another one is the MAC. As I mentioned, that MAC is the alloy of the steel, zinc, and magnesium, which is anti-corrosion also. But MAC is much more rigid than the aluminum. So if there is a wind speed is higher or maybe other parameters, then maybe MAC is the perfect one. So it's also is depending on like what kind of project we are talking about. If it's the ground mounting utility scale or the residential or commercial. So it's the different type of design, or we can use maybe like our standard product, or maybe we have to design specifically the project basis. And talking about the tracker system, because most of the people have a misconcept because they only see the per watt peak. So because obviously the the tracker price is higher than the mounting structures, but they are not seeing that the tracker already reduced the lots of price in the capacity, right? The installation capacity. So that is why the concept of levelized cost of electricity is important. So at the end, while you are calculating from the using fixed mounting structure and the tracker, what is the LCOE? So obviously the tracker is going to get the less LCOE. So that's why it's getting the popularities.
Thank you very much. Maybe a personal question to add to the previous question. What about sand and trackers? You know, with trackers, there is moving parts, there is rotating elements. I could easily imagine that sand and whatever dust particles could have a negative impact. Is this really the case, or are there solutions for this?
I believe I might not be the right person to give this very detailed technical one, but I believe there should be dust resistance motors and those things. So shouldn't be a issue, because you can see nowadays tracker always is useful and the cost effective If you use in the much longer, it's the much more cost effective. If it's shorter, then the tracker price goes higher because you are using the parts like slew drive or actuators. Those are costly parts. So if you are longer, so that's good. So what I'm trying to say in the desert is the better place to put the tracker systems. So there must be, there have solution for this one.
And another interesting question, does it make economic sense? I mean, you were just talking about LCOE. Does it make economic sense to go for trackers when we are doing installations near the equator?
Yes, it's a good question. So we also have done some simulations and the cash flow, let's say just the calculations. So that is why I mentioned that it depends the efficiency increment by the tracker. It's also the reason. So maybe some like equator, maybe not so much high efficiency, but still it makes sense because at this, especially in this COVID period, and recently everybody knows that the module prices is going really high, so it makes really sense.
Thank you. We have some more African specific questions. This is very good. This is the topic. There's obviously a few individuals who will most likely get in touch with you for local partnerships and local distribution. I will make sure to let them get in touch with you after this presentation today. But there's also a few questions about projects that you have already done in Africa. Just to get a feel of your experience. And then as a follow-up on this question, there's a question from Aisatu. What about maintenance after the installations in Africa and maybe like in remote areas? Do you have a program where you provide training to local companies for the long-term O&M? How do you generally work with projects in Africa?
Generally, if we are talking about the fixed mounting structures, there is not much, O&M. So we are not talking about the whole system. We are talking about only the structure, right? Because if you are talking about the whole system, PV plant, then mainly is the electrical parts in the O&M, right? So for the fixed one, is just the fastening. If there is something bold, just like that. So there is not much things. But for the maybe tracker system, there requires, so we are providing lots of materials, documents, let's say for the video materials, and if requires, we also train them. It's okay, yeah.
I have another question about still about the fact of working in Africa. For many tenders, there's a local content requirement. Some companies in the mounting structures and the trackers manage to do some local manufacturing to increase the local content components. How do you work on international projects? Do you manage to manufacture locally, or do you produce everything in Indonesia and China and then do you ship? How are things organized on your side?
Yeah, this is a very good question. And I think there are lots of other perspectives also we have to see. Like, for example, the steel raw material price is the most cheapest, I would say, in China than the other countries, right? So this is the one thing. While we are always talking about the raw material, because the government always try to put some creating new jobs, right, in the solar. So they always try to put lots of like a local contents. And of course, for the modules, for the inverters, it's the most complicated. They cannot maybe localize. So the people think that, okay, structure is the easiest one. So it's the simple part. But there are lots of things. One is the costing things, and there are lots of availability of the real, these materials. So there are lots of things. So we also try to, because of this COVID, we are also trying to work with the other manufacturers in the different countries to be more cost effective. But problem is the, quality assurance, quality control, and the factory, this manufacturing processing. It's very hard for us to maintain, right? Because We are the one who is giving our brand name, providing the warranties, those things. But in the long term, if we talk about the long term, if the market is big, we can consider to have our own factory, or we can maybe work together with some local factory like a JV or any kind of thing. So it's possible.
Very good. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna take just a few more questions because I see we're a little bit over time already. But if you have some extra questions, please make sure to shoot them now through the Q&A section. If we don't get time to cover them, well, definitely I will share them with Arabin and he will follow up with you directly after today's presentation. I'd like to ask you a few questions more about technology now, Arabin. In solar panels and in batteries, for many years already, there is kind of a known efficiency improvement curve. We know that every year panels are going to get a bit more efficient, a bit cheaper, maybe not right now, but the general trend is known and can be anticipated. What about mounting structures and trackers? Do you still have a high level of technological innovation, or are we talking about fairly known products and it's just a question of mass production and distribution channels and things like this? How is the situation with mounting structures?
Yeah, mounting structure, there is no efficiency increment. Just the one thing is that we can customize our design to, more cost effective. That's the thing. And of course, it's also, as I said, that there is as you just mentioned about the local content things, and that might raise the cost also. There are lots of other parameters, right? So for me, even designing, while designing the, let's say, PV system utility scale, sometimes the project site, the land is not sufficient. So what we have to design is that we have to give up some energy in the inclination tilt angle. So there might be a setting loss or something, because there is no choice, because you have a very limited land. So for me, it's like there is no such a big, let's say, efficiency improvement in the mounting structures, fixed mounting structures. The only way is to do the design very well according to the required tilt angle, the best optimized tilt angle. But for the tracker system, yes, it's still, moving on. So we have already reached like a 15 to 20+% efficiency for the whole PV power plant. It's already really good achievement. But of course, there are lots of improvement, R&D, research and development and innovation is going on. So I believe maybe in a few times of period, maybe reach 30%. Because there are lots of technologies also coming. For example, like using the dual bifacial modules. And bifacial modules also, like they have done lots of research while using the bifacial modules with the tracker. There are lots of parameters. Like, for example, the one is the surface of the ground, the reflections, right? And the another one is the distance between the ground and the back of the modules. And the another, there are a few things, and it is still like, people are working on it, like doing some research and development. So will be.
That's actually a very good point. Oh, sorry, please finish.
Yeah, because in the modules, I'm not expert in the modules, but we can see that also modules efficiency has been increasing, but it's not much space there. So that is why there is the alternative, is the tracker systems,
Yeah. And just to build on what you just mentioned about the bifacial modules and trackers, somebody was asking, like, is there any specific studies already available, and which source of the studies could I trust? I mean, of course, you as a tracker manufacturer, you will put your products in the best light. Do you have any recommendation for somebody who really wants to dig into this topic and try to really understand the numbers of efficiency gains? Is there like a one source that you really consider as the most transparent and independent?
Yeah, I haven't, to be honest, that I haven't seen any, let's say, third party who did, right? But as I know, some, let's say, module manufacturers, they have built some case studies for certain projects using the bifacial with the different kind of, parameters, like a surface of the land and the grass, or like a white or cement. So there is available, but it's up to us whether we can take that data as a proven one or not. But maybe there should be also some third party reports. Just I haven't met though.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Arabin, for all these insights about mounting structures and trackers. Definitely, there may be some follow up. We'll put you in touch with the speakers today. And well, I would like to thank everybody and you in particular for taking the time today. Before I let everybody go, I would just like to show you a little bit about upcoming events. If you have enjoyed today's event, well, hopefully you will like our upcoming events as well. Next week, we're going to have an event on with another member of AVSIA, Eastman, specialized in storage solutions, and we are going to try to debunk some myth about lead acid batteries. Then the week after that, we're going to have the Antaisolar Awards. It's a big event for us, very important. We're going to be celebrating the best in class companies of the year. And there's some amazing participants this year again. For those of you who will have the chance to travel to London for attending AEF, well, we look forward to meeting you there. And if unfortunately you don't get a chance to travel, well, you can still follow the show live on Zoom. And we hope that you will be enjoying it as much as we are looking forward to it. And finally, also, we are preparing a series of events with our friends from Startup Energy. And the first event of this series will be focused on e-mobility in Africa. Some very, very innovative startups working on mobility challenges, but also solutions. And really, it's going to be on November 30th. And I warmly invite you to join us on that day, because I'm pretty sure you will be wowed by some of the concepts that these companies are developing. So this is it for today. Again, thank you to everybody. I'm going to keep the stream on for just a few more minutes in case you have some extra last minute questions. And well, yes, Arabin, thank you so much. Thank you to you and to your team for making the time today. And thanks again, everybody, for joining in today and taking some time off your busy schedules.
Yeah, thank you, John. You are doing great. It's a good platform for the Africa Solar. And I also thank all the people who has participated today for giving your time. And of course, we always welcome everybody for our product and the service inquiries. Thank you.
Thank you, Arabin. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Great. Thank you, John. You too have a great day. Bye-bye.